way through and say, give it a rest for a minute and then go.
Yes, that's part of the spoons. That's the spoon idea. Were you on, were listening to us about the spoons? Somebody brought up the spoonies.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'll explain that as we get going here. Okay, arms, lower back.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Let's
and
go at it.
All right, have a great session.
Thank you. Happy Friday morning. Good to be with all of you, taking your seats. And let's just rock right and left on our sitting bones and notice the sensation. I'll tell you a secret. I fell on my buttocks last night, letting Oscar and Garfield out to go potty. And it was a big sheet of ice. Very crazy how sudden that came because we had just been outside. But so my lower back's a little sore today. I feel very lucky that I don't think there's any injury, but a little bit of bruising over there. So yeah, be careful if you guys are near the ice today. I've been spraying that sand around. And let's take that into circles. So just circling forward on your sitting bones, or really you feel your pelvic bone as you go forward and back, and your sacrum area. If you go forward and then to the side, you might not feel it at all. Then you go to the back and you feel the back of your sitting bones. Then you go to the other side and you feel the other sitting bones. Notice that as we go circling. And then we go side to side. We feel one hip and then the other. And then we lean forward and we're really not on our sitting bones, but our lower back is curving back. And then we rock back and we're towards the back of our sitting bones and our belly. You might feel it engage a little bit. So take that forward and back now to become really aware of what's touching and how that impacts even sensation in the lower spine. And then we're going to do what's called pelvic tilts. And this will be a little bit of an experiment because we'll do some stretching and then you can feel your lower back after to see if any more movement has come in. So we do sometimes get real stiff in the lower spine for many reasons. One is that the leg muscles are very tight. The hamstrings. Take one hand to your belly and one hand to your lower back like this. I'm standing, but you don't have to stand. And then you're going to take your sitting bones back. So that's when the pelvis goes forward, when we take the sitting bones back. Then rock your sitting bones more forward and the top of the pelvis goes back. So another way to do this is take your hands, my hands are cold, onto the top of the crest of the pelvis and rock the pelvis back. But see, the top of the pelvis is going forward. Then the other way, top of the pelvis goes back, but it feels like the sitting bones and the sacrum are going forward. So just rock it forward and back like pelvic tilt. And notice how it is to spread your sit bones back and apart. And that, the range of motion in that area will dictate the stiffness in the lower back to a great degree. So rocking forward and back and feeling the top of your pelvis, how the range of motion as it goes forward and back. One or two more times so you can feel that movement. If it's a teeny movement, like teeny, teeny, tiny, and it's all relative, of course, then that would indicate some tightness. And that's where the yoga and the stretching and the moving come in. Let's come back to center. So center is neutral pelvis. Now, let's take the arms forward, bend the elbows, flow them back. You're going to go to your range of motion. That's it. Just let it be kind of like heavy arms, take the elbows back, let the hands follow. As the movement gets a little bit wider, a little bit bigger. We don't quite have enough snow for a snowman around here. I know some of you are sunbirds, you lucky duckies, you lucky birds. Flying, getting out of here in the cold. Good. And then take your hands to the tops of your shoulders. And let's circle just the right elbow forward, to the side, and around and about. Now, if you feel pain, please, 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 please stop. Or don't go quite so far. It's always stop, pause, observe what's going on, make a decision, and proceed. And then we'll do the other side. So stop is used, the acronym STOP is used a lot in mindfulness. And it is pretty much what you think it is. The S is for stop. And let's do both hands now. Both hands are on the shoulders, elbows are both circling forward, around and about. So S is for stop, T is for take a breath, O is for observe, and P is for proceed. And let's take the arms out to the side. Bend one elbow and tilt towards the right. Bend the other elbow and tilt towards the left. That's it. Just going side to side, like your arms are gliding through, like, where are they gliding through? I don't know, I'm thinking of something like clear jelly, like, don't ask me where my head is going today, but just kind of flow it and then let the arms do their thing, not worrying about exactly what it looks like, but more about what it feels like. Because especially when it's cold, we feel kind of stiff and rigid. And so we're inviting in that watery, liquidy element in. And come back to center, rest your hands on your lap, circle your shoulders up and around and back and up and around and back. So the bottom of the spine is neutral here. And you might hear some grungies in there. I'm feeling them. Good. Let's drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Breathe in and out about 3 times. In through the nose, out through the nose, lifting the head on up. And then other way, left ear to left shoulder. So you're not going to feel much in your lower back here, are you? Nope, we won't. Relaxing the shoulders. Feeling a little lengthening going on the side of the neck. And then inhale and rise on up. We're going to go to cat-cow. Now, when we do cat-cow, we can focus on the upper body or the lower body. Let's first focus on the lower spine. I'm just turning to the side so you can see. So you can still have your hands on your belly in cat-cow, or you could have your hands on your thighs. But so as we go into cow pose, the sitting bones are moving back. That's going to help stretch that lower back. Then in cat pose, the sitting bones are moving down. You may not feel too much of a stretch there unless you really have a big lower back curve. Let's go the other way. Sit bones back. Keep spreading them back. So imagine that your sitting bones are getting wider. And then exhale, as you take your chin to your chest, the sitting bones move back closer together. They don't really touch, but they're not that far apart. And again, sitting bones back, heart lifting. Exhale, round. Come back to center. Now, we're going to do cat-cow and focus on the upper body. So now you're going to take your mind's eye to the upper torso Not that you're ignoring the lower back, but just to give you a different focus here. So you can notice how almost any pose, we repeat a lot of these poses, right? But it's where we're taking our intention. So now we're going to exhale and round and feel the shoulder blades moving away from each other. You might take your mind's eye to the lower back. You might not. Then inhale, lift up. Sitting bones back, but now what's happening in the front of the body, the upper body, the heart's lifting, and you may feel the shoulder blades coming together. 2 more times, round chin to chest, maybe lean back towards your sitting bones, to the back of them, and inhale, lift up. Come back to neutral. Take your right arm, we're gonna rest our left forearm on the thigh and take our right arm out to the side and skyward. Make sure this bottom shoulder is externally rotated. It can be helpful to turn the palm up, but you might want to hold on to the thigh, so that's okay too. We're circling the arm up towards the sky, and you can use your hand and hold on to that right thigh. And then exhale, come back to center. And let's do that again. Hand on outside of thigh, circle the arm outward and upwards. Your gaze may follow your fingertips. And then exhale and come on down. Now, let's take this right hand and gently take it towards the left and bring your left hand to your hip. So now we're reaching towards the left, open up the upper shoulder. So circle it up and back. This is a version of thread the needle, but we're on a chair. Then we're going to come back to center. Who said we couldn't do twisty, curvy contortions in the chair? None of you said that. Now let's do the other side. Forearm on the thigh. Right forearm on the thigh, and turning the palm open very often helps to externally rotate, but then you might, so the whole arm is opening up, not just the bottom part or the forearm. Then we might turn just the hand to hold the thigh. Now we're gonna lift the left arm skyward, reach it high to your highest. A little bit of weight is coming onto the right shoulder, but not a lot. And then we're going to circle it down. And then inhale, lift it up. And maybe each time it goes a little bit higher. One more. Reach it up. Reach it high. Now exhale, curl on down. Take the left arm and reach it towards the right. Take your right hand to your hip. So you're reaching your arm towards the right and your right hand is at your hip. This is a twist called thread the needle. And then inhale, come to center. Let's circle the arms forward, then the elbows around and about. Notice arms go forward. You feel your shoulder blades off your back. Arms go out to the side. You start to feel your shoulder blades come onto the back. Take them back behind you. They're more on the back. Inhale forward, off the back. Coming out to the side, more on the back. Take them back behind you. Turn the palms away from you, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Notice what's going on. Are we holding tension anywhere? Maybe bob your head up and down. Just a little bit side to side. And then swing your arms up. And let's exhale and find a twist. Right hand forward, left arm back. They're both straight. Switch it up. Left arm forward, right arm back. Switch it up. So flowing with your arm movements. And as we inhale, arm lifts. As we exhale, arms lower. Lifting on the inhale, exhaling, on the lowering. You got it. Inhale up, exhale out. We're gonna go one more, arms lift. Maybe you interlace fingers, maybe not, pushing the webbings in. Maybe you take your arms about here in front of your heart. That's it, push your palms away. Now, push the webbings of your fingers into each other. Now, release your palms. Turn your palms forward, thumbs out to the side. Take your hands out to the side. Fingertips upward. Curl your fingers down like a claw. Take them back to flexing your wrists. Spread your fingers. Interlace your thumbs. Move towards your side. This is a twist. Bring the elbows in, pull the fingertips towards you. Inhale, press away like you're making a half circle. You're scouting the area. I'm always watching out for coyotes. Maybe I can't get my doggies. Pull the thumbs in towards you. Inhale, press away. Circle it around and about. Pull it on in. You might release the interlacing of the thumbs. Take it forward and to the side, back to center, other way, back to center, hands at your hips. Let's lean, shoulders up and back. Lean forward towards the front of your sitting bones. Then maybe you take one arm forward, maybe the other. Take your sitting bones and spread them back, press them back. You feel like you're completely more onto your sacral area, off of your sitting bones, but you're not going to fall off this chair, right? Push down through your feet. Maybe lower a little bit more. Now be careful of your back. Really blossom your buttocks back. Nobody's looking back there anyway, right? Blossom it back. Press those sitting bones back. Now, pull your ribs to the back of your shirt. Pull your belly in. Inhale, lift your arms a little bit more. Beautiful. Lift your spine a little bit more. Maybe your arms come with you. Lift them a little bit more. Come back upright. Oh my goodness. Hands at the heart. Woo! That was a lot of work. Exhale, lower your arms down. Inhale, circle them up. Take your hands to your hips. Lean slightly forward. Shoulders up and back. Spread your sitting bones back. I really want you to feel this spreading back. So you can push your feet down, pull your heels towards you, angle your sitting bones away and back. Now, maybe you take your arms back like you're going to fly, shoulders up and back. Pulse your hands. Give them a little pulse. We are working. Make sure that your neck spine is in line with the rest of your spine. We're going to circle the arms up. Take them back. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, take back. Inhale, circle up, lifting right knee. Maybe not, right? Maybe that spoon is gone for the day. Exhale, foot down. Inhale, other foot lifts. That's it. And do this a few times, alternating. One lifts, then the other. Lifting and lowering, and lifting and lowering, alternating. Come back to center, arms lift high to the sky. Let's open this up. Open it up. Good, sit tall. Sitting bones back. Do a few more pelvic tilts with your knees wider. If it feels like they're coming in, you can gently press them away from each other. If it's too much, bring your feet closer together. We can get super tight in our inner thighs. That will pull on the back too. So go where you think you're getting, a good stretch, but not painful. You can take your hands to the back of the thighs and press the outside of your thighs into your hands. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's take our arms into cactus. Extend them. Hug, right arm over left, big, 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 big hug. Inhale, open it up, you're in the cactus. Lower your hands a little bit. Imagine you're pushing your hands into the earth. Draw your shoulders up and back for a little bit of a back bend here. Heart lifting, sitting bones back. Heart lifting, sitting bones back. Come back to neutral, lifting the arms skyward. Exhale, take your hands down, shoulders up and back, lift your heart. Let the back of your hands lean back slightly. Inhale, reach up, rise up, spine lifts. Take your arms forward. Imagine there's a net. Your fingers are they're gonna claw that net and you're gonna pull the net towards you, elbows move back. That's it. Now, lift the upper arms and tilt the back of the hands backwards. Take your sit bones back. Take your fingertips to the back of your head. Keep that back of the neck long, strong neck. Inhale, rise up. Good. With your fingertips behind your head, maybe only one hand or both. Tip your elbow down towards your right thigh, right elbow to right thigh. Lean slightly back into your hands or your fingertips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, other way. Left elbow down, right elbow up. Little side bend here. As we inhale, push down through your feet. Lift your heels, rise up. Heels rising. Heels rising, spine lifting, pulling ribs back. Lifting arms. Beautiful. Side bend towards your right. Side bend towards your left. Lower the heels down. Maybe make a little adjustment in the chair. We're going to go clockwise. Circle around and down. You're going to go forward because you don't want to go all the way down with your feet wide like that. Go forward, making like a half circle, and then come back up. So exhaling, lowering towards the right, forward, towards the left, you open up your heart, you rise up. You tilt towards the right, and then maybe you look under the left arm dome, come back to neutral with arms forward, searching for a coyote, then lifting the right arm, gazing up towards the right arm dome, inhale it up. Good, let's take it the other way. So counterclockwise, towards your left, come on forward, push down through your feet, inhale, rise up. And again, towards the left, press the feet down, inhale, lift on up. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your heart, open up, big hug, left arm over right. Big, big, big hug. Take your elbows towards your navel. Keep your knees over your middle toes. Lift up. Grab the neck forward. Pull the elbows back. Tilt the upper arms back. Fingertips to the back of your head. You're in a little back bend. Sitting bones blossoming back. Inhale, rise up. Bring your hands to your thigh. Close your legs. Close them on in. And let's find our way to the earth. We're really going to work the lower back down here too. So here we go. Make sure that you have your blanket, your strap, and your block, anything you need. Moving the chair so you can get down to the earth with relative ease and safety. I'm moving that bolster out of the way, although it's very good for your lower back when you're resting. to have some pillows. Hold on to the chair. Slowly take it on down. We're gonna move the chair out of the way here. You can do whatever best for you. I'm just gonna put it, I'm gonna get it out of here so you don't have to see it. You don't need it. Everybody getting situated. We're gonna play with pelvic tilt. So let's come on to our back. We're not gonna stay on our back. This warning you. Let's play with the pelvic tilt and bring your strap with you. Bring your strap with you. Come on down. Ooh, I'm a little sore from that little spill I took last night on that lower back. It reminds me as I go down. So come on down. We're in bridge prep pose. Now, take your hands to the top of your pelvis and tilt your pelvis forward and your sitting bones move down towards the earth. If you stick your hand underneath your lower spine, there's a curve there. That's the lower back curve. Now, take the top of your pelvis and push it down towards the earth. Then try to get your hand under there. It won't go because you're pushing the lower back down. Tilt the pelvis forward and back so you can feel the difference. So really, we were doing this in cat-cow in the chair. Now we're on the earth. You can do pelvic tilts in all kinds of different ways. I want you to notice how the curve feels to you. Now, the more you push the sitting bones down towards the earth, the more curve you're going to get. Now, you might feel like your ribs are lifting. It's okay for now, but we don't necessarily want that. We want the lower back curve to come from the lower back, not the ribs lifting. But for now, you might just notice that. We're going to work on that in a bit. But so as you tilt your pelvis back and you can't get your hand under there, press your ribs down into the mat. Now with keeping a neutral spine, so come to somewhere around center between pelvis forward and back, bring your right knee in towards you. Bring your right knee in towards you and give it a huggy. Hug it on in. Then extend your left lower leg. Push the left heel away from you with the right knee coming towards you. Like you're going to give your right knee a kiss. When you do that, your pelvis is tilting back. You cannot get anything underneath your hip. Let's circle the knee around a few times. Now, go ahead and bend the left knee, pull the right knee in towards you, and then away from you. Notice how the pelvis tilted. Pull the knee in towards you, press the knee away. Notice what's going on in your lower spine. Find that midway point. Then you have choices. Hands behind thigh, foot pressing up to sky. We're pushing the thigh away from us. Try to keep your pelvis neutral, meaning not too much. This is what like too much of a lower back curve, and that's kind of awkward. This is too much going the other way, and that's tightening. So find that place where the pelvis is, the top of the pelvis is right in the center, belly tone slightly. Maybe you have a tie around your foot. Then bend your knee in towards you, flex your toes towards you as well, or flex your heel away from you, knees towards you. Now we're going to press the heel up towards the sky. Relax the shoulders down, bending the knee, and then pressing the heel skyward. Toes are active. That's going to make a difference in the stretch. So spread your toes. Lifting heel, pelvis neutral. So notice if you lost that neutrality, and if it means you have to bend your knee, bend your knee. Tilt the pelvis forward and back, find the center. We keep returning. When we've got that neutrality, then press the leg away from you and up, footprint to the sky. So the thigh is pressing away. Let's hold this. You might, only if you're not feeling much at all, then you might extend the leg. Not a requirement. We're pushing both feet away. Both feet are flexed. If the foot's down on the earth, just press it down. Let's take the leg out to the side, keeping the pelvis neutral. So no tipping the pelvis towards the right. Holding the strap with one hand. The left knee is pointing upwards. The kneecap is up towards the sky. Inhale, leg lifts. Let's hold it for about, how about 10 full breaths? It takes a while to stretch the back of the leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep that neutral spine in your lower back. Now, take your sitting bones and press them down into the mat. You lose that neutrality of center, but keep pressing your heel up and your thigh away. That may help to lengthen a bit more through the back of the leg. Few breaths here, then neutralize out the lower back. Let's pull the knee in towards us for happy baby. You can use a strap to pull the foot in towards you, or you can use your hands and grab them around the calf and the shin. Notice how as you pull the knee in towards you, the pelvis is tilting back. Then lift the leg one more time to the sky. Interlacing fingers behind thigh, pushing the back of the thigh into your hands. Woo! Now, tilt your pelvis forward. Feel that lower back curve. Sitting bones down to the earth. Heel pressing upward, toes spreading. Woo! And release. Let that go. Let's open and close the knees a few times. Then take your feet wide, so they're about mat width apart, and let your knees drop to the right and then the left. I got a wall in the way here, but going one way and then the other. And take your mind's eye to the lower back curve. Notice what's happening. One side is lifting, but even here, take your sit bones back and spread them. Maybe you take your left arm and you reach it back behind you and stretch through the thigh. Then come to center. Lower the knees towards the left. Take your sitting bones, let them spread back behind you. Bring your arm up overhead and stretch it back on the right side. Woo! Feel that length. Inhale, come to center. Knees are back up, bridge prep pose. Tilt your pelvis forward and back. Maybe take your hand underneath there and see if you've noticed any change in how the lower back moves. Notice. Find neutrality, so somewhere in the middle. Bring the left knee in towards you. Give it a hug on it. Hug, 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 knee towards your belly. Towards your heart. Thighs into your belly. Maybe you extend the lower leg, the right leg. Usually I feel a good stretch across the front of the right side, the pelvis and the thigh. Push the right heel away as you pull the left knee towards you. Take your mind's eye to the lower back. Notice how that feels. Then we're going to take the strap to our foot. You might bend that right knee back, Strap to left foot or interlacing hands behind thigh. Gently pulsing a little bit, like extending the leg and then bending. Not extending fully to where the knee locks. So there's still maybe a little bend. Straightening, bending, knee towards shoulder. I like to pull the strap in towards the center of my arch. It feels good. You can kind of move it around, even slide the strap right and left to massage the bottom of the foot. And then notice your lower back. With the knee in, the pelvis may have switched, so it's tilting back. See if you can tilt it forward and back with your knee in towards you. Notice how that feels. Then, find about neutral, pressing footprint towards sky. Leg may or may not be straightening all the way. Bending, straightening, pulling in, pressing away. Notice your pelvis. Is it forward or back? Let's first take it forward. So find the extent of range of motion in your leg. It's kind of like playing with a teeter-totter here of the pelvis going forward and back. So let the pelvis move forward and upward. You'll feel lower back curve. You put your hand under there, a mouse can get under there. Then keep those sitting bones pressing down as you straighten your leg more. You will feel more sensation. Notice if you tilt your pelvis forward or back, you may lose a sensation. Pelvis back, you can't get your hand under there, but you might not have as much of a stretch through the back of your leg. That's the key. Notice that. Let's bend the knee in towards us. Release that. Pull the shin in toward the knee towards you, and maybe use your hands on the calf or strap on foot works too. Then we're going to take the leg, I'm going to move away from the wall and let it come out to the side. Little stretch there. So maybe you have a strap, or maybe you're supporting your leg with your hand. You can't really see me very well. I should turn. The big point here is to keep the pelvis level so it's not tilting towards the leg. So leg is out to side, it's supported. Right knee is bent. Kneecap is straight up to the sky. Now we're going to inhale and lift the leg. Let's hold it for about 10 breaths here. You can use your hands or the strap to help lift the leg and straighten it. 10 breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. We want about 30 seconds in the stretch, but you don't want to feel like you're getting rigid. You may feel like you need to bend and straighten the leg, and that's great. It's perfect. You don't have to hold something so long that you feel like the rigidity or stiffness is coming in. And move the leg a little bit. We still want to try to get that stretch and hold it. You might even point or flex your feet. And then let's release the foot. And I said we were going to play with an experiment. I want you to take your hands underneath your lower back and rock your pelvis forward and back and see if you've noticed whether there's any but more of a curve, especially if you were feeling tight. From here, we're going to walk in ridge prep pose. So you're going to inhale, lift your right knee towards you, drop the foot down, and left, and drop it down, and right, and drop it down. So you're walking in place in bridge pose. And feel free to let your foot slap down a little bit. Gentle, like not rough, but to really feel the sensation of the foot as it lifts and lowers and lowers toward the earth. You might hear a little sound. You're hearing me kind of make a little, not a little thud. Now let's go more conscious. Lift the right knee, place the right heel down, then step the foot down. Inhale, left knee lifts, lower the heel down, step the foot down. Right knee lifts, lower the heel, press the whole foot down. Left knee in, lower the heel, press the whole foot down. Pressing both feet down, feet outside your hips. Inhale, lift your toes. Feel your arches activate. Lower your toes, pull your heels and your toes towards you, but keep pressing your footprint down. You're going to feel your arches lift. We call this short foot, but it's really like you feel like you're pulling your toes towards you. You feel the arch activate. Release, let that go. Now, push down through your feet, lift your hips. Walk your arms underneath you a little bit. Maybe you press the upper arms into the mat. Now, please do not jut the pelvis up and forward so much that you feel like you're jarring your pelvis. Exhale, lower the sitting bones down. We're going to do this a few times. I want you to experiment with feeling the hips heavy. Like let them get the sensation of heaviness. Push down through your feet. Lift your heart. Lift your hips. You can walk your arms underneath you. Maybe your arms are in robot. Now, keeping the lift in your heart, lower your hips. Let them get heavy. That's the lower back curve. You might imagine that you have something heavy on your hips and they're lowering maybe an inch or 2 or 3 down, but your heart is still lifting. Now lift your hips. Tone your buttocks. Push your feet down. Pull your heels towards you. Buttocks is toned. Let's exhale. Slowly lower the hips down. Now take your hands behind your neck and make sure that your neck is not flattening on the earth. So you should have space in between your fingers. Your fingers are behind your neck. There should be space in between the mat and the skin on the back of your neck. Keep that space. Lower your upper arms down. Inhale, lift your hips. We're back in the bridge. Push the toes down, lift the heels. Push the toes down, lift the heels. Swing your hips to the right, back to center. Swing your hips to the left, back to center. Lower your hips down. Feel your spine. We're going to roll onto a side, so either side, so we can stretch the front of our thigh. So you might start by pulling the upper knee in towards you. Take your hand to your pant leg or the ankle, and then pull the heel back behind you. Heels towards you. Pulling the ankle and the heel towards your buttocks, your upper buttocks. Don't let the knee do this. We want the knee down. If you were to look down your body, you'd see your thigh lining up with your pelvis, with the side of your pelvis. So it's one line from your pelvic bone all the way down towards the knee. The bottom knee's bent. That's going to help your balance. Beautiful. Now, mind your shoulder. Take the shoulder up, a back, and around. You'll feel your shoulder blade come onto your back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. We're going to release that. Maybe shake the leg out a little bit or swing it forward, swing it back. Just kind of move it. So knee towards you, knee away from you. You can use your upper hand for balance here so you don't fall over on your belly. You're not going to fall far, right? Knee towards you, knee back behind you. Maybe you straighten the leg a little bit. Maybe you kick the leg forward a little bit and then pull it back. Then Let's do the stretch one more time. Hand to the shin, ankle or foot. Press the heel towards you. Knee is lining up with bottom leg. Knee is lining up with pelvic bone or top of the pelvis bone. Pulling heel in towards you, shoulder up and back. Then, for a little fun, let's bring the knee up towards our shoulders. Maybe extend the lower leg long, push the heel away. Knee is towards you. This is fun, isn't it? Maybe put the footprint into your inner thigh. Now we're in a version of lying down on our side tree pose. Fingertips are down for balance, or you might play with lifting the arm or taking it over your head for a big stretch. Yes, we're pushing foot into inner thigh into foot, belly toning. Let's release the fingertips down. Bend both knees in towards you. You're in fetal pose. Roll onto your back. We'll do the other side. We got a lot to do. So other side, I'm just going to switch on facing forward. You can just roll onto your other side. And you can bend your lower elbow if that's helpful. You may or may not have a blanket under here. Try to keep your head so that it's neutral, meaning your neck and your chin are all lined up, rather than your head up like this. That's rough on the neck. So a lot of people try to bunch this thing up and be like that. Just be careful, because we want to try to stay in alignment. Then we're going to bring the upper knee in towards our chest, give it a hug in, and then start to swing it gently back. So you're making, they're not really half circles. I would call it more like 60%, 60 degrees, something like that. And then maybe you straighten the leg and kind of kick it forward and back a little bit. Gentle, gentle. Bring it in some movement. And notice as you do this, you might feel your pelvis moving forward and back. You may feel that. Then, next time, grab your pant leg, your ankle, or your shin, and kick the leg back behind you a little bit. So now the knee is lining up. So if I take the crest of my hip, I can draw a line all the way to the center of the knee. Knees not up like that. Knees down like that. So it's an extension from the hip. Then, with your hand on your foot, your shin, your ankle, push it away at the same time you're pulling it in. That's the isometric. Push the foot away as you pull it in. The upper shoulder's up and back. So this is a little bit of a shoulder work too at the same time. Breathing, holding. Maybe you hold this a little bit longer. Maybe you release it because it's feeling kind of crampy or stiff. If it does, kind of swing it forward and back again. Let's do that. Swing it, bring it back. Swing it, bring it back. Swing it, bring it back. And then let's pull it in once again. Lather, rinse, repeat. Notice if you're not feeling a stretch and your ribs are moving forward, that might be why. Pull your ribs to the back of your shirt so your ribs are stacking. Left over right ribs. Push your foot into your hand into your foot. Notice how you'll feel a stretch in the front of your thigh. Let's release that. Let it go. Now I want you to go onto your bellies. And we'll just do the inchworm again so you can feel the pelvic tilt going forward and back. So you can stack your forearms, rest your head. Maybe you take your head to one side and then let your hips sway right and left. And then we're going to go into inchworm. So for inchworm, you're pushing down through the bottom of the thighs, not your kneecaps. Hips are lifting. Now buttocks is blossoming up towards the sky. Then release the sitting bones. They come back down. Tone your hips. They get a little bit toned there. Then inhale, lift the sitting bones up to the sky. You might curl your toes under and tone. And toes curl under, sitting bones lift and spread and release. Now, if this feels comfortable and accessible to you, do it. If not, don't. No injuries, okay? But it's a little fun. We just want to have a little fun. You bend your heels, bend your knees in towards you. You might grab your heels, your pant legs, your shins, or maybe nothing, and just kind of rock right and left. If you can grab it, go ahead and grab it and then rock right and left a little bit. And maybe you come to center, push your heels away, draw your shoulders up and back, drop your chin so the back of your neck is long. Maybe you kick your feet away and you feel your shoulder blades move in. Now, I keep saying maybe because if it's not right for you, please don't do it. Just adding a little something in here. You're pushing your heels away, shoulders up and back. Feel your sitting bones and angle them towards your knees. The belly's going to tone just a little bit. Release, let that go. Hips back and forth. And then come onto your back once again. Once again. We're almost done. Bring your knees in towards you. Circle them around and about, both at the same time. So bring them in towards you, outwards, up, around, and about. Now, take one knee and circle it counterclockwise, and the other one and circle it clockwise, just for a little brain teaser. Kind of fun. Little brain teaser. One's going one way and one's going the other way. I find this very hard, but it's fun to tell the brain to do it. So I got the right one going counterclockwise and the left one going clockwise. Ooh, weird. All right, that was just to get your brain a little, mishmash. Bring the knees in towards you. Maybe go into happy baby, wrapping your arms around your legs. Rock right and left, massage your spine. Massage your spine. Rock it right and left. Really feel the rocks, the tilts to one way and then the other. Massage your spine. Eventually find your way to feet down, knees open, maybe blocks under thighs or knees. Maybe, right? Maybe. Knees are open, resting thighs outward in the lying down butterfly. Hands can be resting on your belly, down by your side with palms up. You can stay here for a few breaths. If you're another really nice thing to do, I'm going to show it today, is put your feet up on the chair. That's really good for your lower back to let it get nice and heavy. You also can use the bolster under your knees when you're lying down for Shavasana. But I'll just show this today because it really allows your lower spine to relax. You can put your legs up on a sofa. You also could do the bolster or pillows under your knees, but something like this, because now the pelvis is, and the knees are up and it allows your pelvis to come to more of a curve or neutral. It's really nice. Really nice. So this is a great way to relax. Some people put their feet up the wall. And then one other little trick sometimes for people with a really stiff lower back is to roll a blanket. You guys relax, but I'm just talking you through this. If you wanted to do this, is to take a blanket, fold it, make roll with it. And that you're gonna have to experiment with how big the roll is. I'm gonna just go for folding it a few times. And then you could put the roll underneath your back. That's if you're not using the chair. And so it would go horizontal like this. And then resting the lower back on this curve will help bring in a little curve there, very neutral. And you can have your knees come in towards each other, feet out. This might be a nice way to relax. And if it's not enough of a curve, you can roll it again and again, but we're bringing in that lower back curve. So that's a nice way to relax and maybe get some of the stiffness out of there. So whichever pose you chose, whether traditional resting pose, lying long, or putting a bolster under the knees, that's super nice for the lower back, or putting your feet on the chair, or a little roll under your spine. And then resting here. Now at any point, you can remove the roll and come to neutral. I recommend going to neutral and being in neutral for a minute or so after you've lied on this roll. Maybe you line it for a few minutes, letting the body relax, letting go of any clenching or holding, any tightening, letting go with each exhale. With each exhale, letting go. So this is a really super nice place to be. Appreciating these precious moments. This time of giving to yourself, this rest. This stillness. The body recalibrates. Soaks in all the good energy, movement you brought into the body. This is a pose of letting go. Letting go. Letting be. Let nature and instinct take over. Your body knows what it needs. Eventually rolling to your side and lifting, but I encourage you to take your rest and not necessarily get up when I do. I know I have to close the class out, but you can stay as long as you want. When we're ready, we bring our hands to our heart. We always end with gratitude. Gratitude for life's precious moments. Gratitude for all that brought us to this point. This day, this class together, all that brought you here. The support of the Michigan Parkinson Foundation. We expressed our deepest gratitude for all the blessings in our life. Feeling this gratitude for these precious moments with each breath, drinking it in. Drink in the precious moments. Don't let them breeze on by. Be right here with precious moments and time. Namaste, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I hope your lower back feels pretty good.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you're got a nice, some people have a nice long weekend coming up, right? For some, it's just like any other weekend, but President's Weekend, so we'll recognize that. A lot of the schools have time off, lots of traveling going on.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mindy.
everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Be
Namaste.
careful if you're near ice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a great
Yeah, it
week.
was slippery this morning. It was
It
slippery
was a
last
little
night.
slippery.
too.
I went out to teach, but I was asking, is it okay out there? Because I took Oscar and Felix out last night and boom, on my butt. I fell on my buttocks.
Are you
So that-
okay?
I'm fine, but it was, you know, I
Okay.
was like, whoa, wait, what? And it was so slippery. I was looking for like mud, you know, something to hold on to because of
Right.
brick pavers. Like, how did
Right.
I get up these stairs? This was kind of crazy. Yeah, it was definitely slick for that moment.
Yeah.
We've been spraying or putting down sand and kitty litter now.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. How's your foot doing?
So it's getting there. It's just taking longer than I would like it to. So,
Always.
but it is
Every
better
day,
than
Mindy.
last year. So that's a plus. That's a
That is
big plus.
That is a big plus. Big plus.
Oh, thank you for asking. So, how are you feeling okay from your COVID thing?
Yeah,
or-
and what about you? Is your house clear now?
I think so. I think we're good. My husband just still has the cough. So, and
Yeah.
I'll occasionally have like a little cough, but not anything too badly. So,
Oh, good. It takes a while to get out. I know it was a ripple effect. My cousin got it, then her husband got it. I'm like, wow, we're all getting it around here.
and then we're watching doggies. Here's a Chihuahua. This is Tank, the long-haired Chihuahua. And then we have a Yorkie.
Oh my goodness, whose are those?
My husband's coworker.
Oh, you're so nice. It's fun.
Well,
How long are you watching them for?
Just for the week. Sure, her son and daughter-in-law had a baby about a month ago, and so they went to visit. So
So a little added fun for you.
yes, it's been fun for us. Yeah, my husband's like, well, it's been good till the snow started. Then of course they don't want to go out.
Right. Mine are like, well, that's what happened last night. And then I was like, you guys got to go out before bed. You got to go. And they're looking at me like, no. I'm like, go. And
Are
I'm
you
not going back out with you again.
Right.
Taking a good look out. People are like, why do you go out? I'm going, go out because there's coyotes.
Right.
Those little dogs, you can't really let them out.
No. Well, we have a fenced in yard, but still she said they're used to being on the leash. So I'm like, it's kind of a pain,
Wow.
but we just take them out on the leash in the backyard or the front yard. So
That's actually good.
yeah, it's probably better. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of being used to putting the collar on, then put the leash on, then take them out, then
It's
come
a
back.
process.
Yeah.
Very nice of you to watch.
So, oh,
Well,
But
you guys all
they've been
take
really-
care.
all
Wait,
right.
What were you gonna say?
They've been really good actually. So
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That would not be fun. My son was his girlfriend fostered some dogs in New York, and they were
Oh,
not,
wow.
so it was actually 2 Chihuahuas, and
Aw.
I can't remember, Bob and somebody, and they were not necessarily loving brothers.
Aw.
And it was very nice of them to foster them, but I think at a certain point they're like, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah, time to leave. Yeah. Well, they get along really well. So I'm like, thank God for that. So that's
really
very
nice.
helpful. So
Then it's fun.
yeah. So all right. Well, have
Everyone
a good weekend,
take
everyone.
care.
Thank
Be
you.
safe. Be safe.
Yes.
Thank you,
too.
Mindy.